you guys. We're super excited for you to join us for this YouTube Live. I'm Carina Gardner, and I have Tiffani Hawkins here with us. And I'm super excited because we're going to do a cake topper project. Tiffani, do you want to show everyone what we're going to be working on?
Yes. Here is my example of the project, and it is a shaker cake topper. Super cute for birthdays, and you can either make it a shaker or not a shaker. So it's kind of up to you. And I cut up all our pieces ahead of time, and so that way, to save time, we can just go ahead and get started and put it together. So
And here's my pieces, you guys. So I cut it out as well. And I think this will be great because there are actually quite a few pieces for this project. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be so great to do with Tiffani because I wanted to see how it all went. One of the best things I think about this project, Tiffani, that looks so cool is it's really quite big. So is it really meant for a pretty sizable cake? Tell me a little bit about that.
yeah, it's meant for a pretty sizable cake. You can size down. I like to say not to make it any smaller than 7 inches because of how intricate your little cupcake pieces are. So you want your cutting machine to be able to cut it and not tear it up. So that's kind of the size I recommend. I think I cut this one out around 8 inches. So it's really cute on, your flat cakes that are, pretty long or big, or if you have like a 10-inch cake or bigger, it'll be really cute on. But you can make it smaller if you like.
Yeah, I almost made it smaller because one thing I will say about this project, if you download it, and by the way, you can find this project. There's a link for it to Tiffani's Etsy shop directly in the description. So if you're like, oh, I want to find that, just get in there and you'll see in the description a link to go to Tiffani's shop. So one thing I was thinking is that if you do make it a little bit smaller, you can fit it to an 8.5 by 11 sheet. As it's set up, it really needs 12 by 12 inch cardstock.
Yeah, it's safer on the 12 by 12.
Yeah. Tiffani, will you tell everyone a little bit about your shop and, some of the things that you sell? I mean, you do a lot of cake toppers, but what are some of the other things you do? And will you tell everyone like how to find your shop?
Sure. I do a lot of cards. I love card making. Before I started designing SVGs, I started in card making with my crafting again. I have a lot of flat files for t-shirts, that kind of thing, and a lot of cake toppers. And I like to do personalized cake toppers. So, if you ever want a special occasion one, I can do that. But cards, cake toppers, anything party, occasional, flat files. So yeah, I love doing all of those things.
Yeah, so cute. Tiffani, will you tell me a little bit about the colors you've chosen?
I chosen these colors, the pink and brown, it's kind of in. I think it's cute for you girls, but you can switch it up if you have pretty pattern paper. I think that would look cute, especially for, little boys. Cake topper would be cute, but I really like these colors for girls, so that's why I chose them. I think they kind of
I know. I went all the way pink and I've got cream paper. So I even see like you've got gray and I ended up going cream. I am just using, for those of you who are wondering, I'm using the 12 by 12 inch cardstock. I'm using the, I have to always look up the name of it because I have it here in front of me. It's the Encore Glitter Luxe. That's what I'm using for this.
Oh, yeah, I like Encore's paper. They have pretty paper.
They're
I am
really
using paper by cardstock.com, and they have some pretty textured papers as well. I like their pop tone paper, and I think it's called Lacebo. That brand paper they carry is really pretty as well. So, like, I don't know if you can see, like,
oh,
this is a
so pretty.
textured paper, and so is this brown. So
I love it.
that's
So
kind of
good. Okay. So you guys know what we've cut. Now, Tiffani, do you want to go through like all the types of pieces they should have? So I'm going to actually pull myself and her off so you can just see all of the pieces because it's actually quite a few pieces here.
Yeah, it's pretty fun if you like dimensional projects because these two pieces I probably would super glue together. So that's probably what we'll do for that. If you want to make your cake topper a shaker, you'll need your acetate pieces. And sometimes, a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll use leftover package stuff. So like this is a package. Stamp came in and I just basically cut this off and had my machine cut it. So that's a way to recycle things if you want. And this is the background, which is good to, we're gonna use our foam tape to kind of make it pop up as well. But we're gonna glue these pieces together. Then you have your cherry top. And it'll be fun to use some foam tape to kind of make that piece dimensional as well. And I have these thin foam strips that we're going to use on around our cupcake here to make it into a shaker. And that way we'll have some space between your acetate and your cardstock. So we have space for all your little cute little shaker bits. So yeah.
I love it. It's so cute. So I have not made this before, you guys. So what I'm going to do is we're going to follow Tiffany along as she's doing this. Unfortunately, my audio doesn't work if, when she's going, if I have myself off. So what I'm probably going to do, the problem is like, I want to ask her questions and stuff, but I want you guys to be able to see better. And I really think by looking on her screen, you're going to see it all so much better. So I'm going to make myself quite a bit, I'm thinking smaller to try to do this. And I actually going to pull her on also on the side. And let's just see if we can do this so that you can really see her screen the biggest. So we're going to try this, but I don't know. There we go. And let's just see. Oh, that seemed to work.
It's working. Yay. Okay. The first step, what I'm going to do first, because I want to give it some time to dry, is you'll see my happy birthday cut out. I use cardstock. And I like to use, this one's not too necessary for it, but when you have a whole bunch of small letters, I like to use press and seal. This is Glad press and seal. And what I did was I pressed it over my cutting mat, and it picks up the paper for you and it keeps it together. So that when you go to glue it down, it kind of helps it. So
that's so awesome. I ended up doing mine with a vinyl. So I cut mine with vinyl so I could use it as a sticker. And I'm going to use transfer tape. So this stuff.
Yeah, that's smart too.
To get mine
easy.
I know vinyl is easy. Okay, I don't know which of these pieces, because there are 3 pieces here. What's the difference in these 3 pieces, Tiffany?
Really, it's just one front piece. You have one that you're gonna put your happy birthday down on, and you should see the outline that follows the happy birthday. If I can do this without putting my head in the camera. And you should only be one other piece, which is going to be mirrored. So it's going to be the back of your cake topper. So it'll cover once you put
out an extra by accident, because it really should be.
Maybe so. But see, you have your back. So one is going to be flipped mirrored. So you should have one that reads the happy birthday and another piece that's flipped and kind of mirrored. So it's going to look backwards. One piece is going to look backwards in the other piece, so that you have a back, and because you're going to want to cover your little cake pop sticks.
Yeah, I accidentally cut out 3. Don't follow me, you guys.
So I'm just kind of gluing my Carina, since she did it vinyl. She probably wouldn't have to do this part first. But I'm
glad you're showing that though.
I'm just gluing down my happy birthday. And the great thing about this press and seal is once the glue kind of dries a little bit, it doesn't stick really bad to your cardstock. So it's not going to tear your cardstock.
This is how I got mine. So here's my transfer vinyl, and I'm just going to lay it down.
So I'm going to put that to the side and let that dry a minute. And I think probably the easiest next step would be to glue our top portion of the cupcake that shows the little pieces for the bottom of the cupcake on top.
Really love it, Tiffany. So Tiffany has been in Design Suite And I remember when she started doing cake toppers back then. And she's actually at the University of Arts and Design working on her master's degree right now, which I believe is your second master's degree. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. My first master's is in public administration with a concentration in human resources. And I have been working in human resources 20 years now. I think I made 20 years last month. So I
Wow.
really love working with people. That's the part that I like about human resources. There's been times when I've been able to be creative in it, like do brochures for hiring and newsletters and that kind of stuff, but still not as creative as I liked. My undergrad degree is in graphic design. And when I finished, almost 30 years ago, 25 years ago or so, it was really hard for me to find a job in graphic design. So, and I didn't want to move. I would have had to move. So I ended up going back to grad school for HR and been doing that ever since. But I just feel like this is my calling, being more creative and designing.
So other than cake toppers, will you talk about some of the other things that you currently design?
Yes, I love cards, and I think it's because I like giving them. Everybody that I give them to, they keep them because they be like, "Oh, it's so cute. I just love it," and they don't want to throw it away. So I design a lot of cards as well, and I do some flat files. Like I'll do some family trip T-shirts for people to make. Also, any other little 3D type files. Sort of like this cake topper where it's dimensional, that you could use on cards, or I like junk journaling and art journaling as well. So any kind of 3-dimensional flat files, I sell a lot of those too. But
yeah, and I can tell you guys, especially if you go check out her shop, how amazing her 3D files really are, especially because I graded a whole bunch of them last semester. So
there's a lot of boxes too, that you can use, put little candies in, that kind of stuff, party boxes. And I like designing those too. I think they're fun for different occasions and holidays. So I do those as well.
It. Okay, I think I'm caught up with you. I've got my vinyl on. I'm glued in my first two things. Do you want to show us what to do next?
Yep. Next, I am going to glue our little acetate piece on. And just want to be careful not to overflow with your glue.
What kind of glue are you using?
I'm using Nuvo glue. And I bought this little gun that helps me kind of squeeze out my glue, and it has a very fine tip, which I love. You can buy this little fine tip separate,
which you kind of need. You guys can see how fine these lines are on the cupcake. You really do actually need something kind of a fine tipped to make it glue nicely together.
Yeah, it's helpful so that you don't have too much glue that's overflowing, especially on this clear acetate. Even though you can, I have that glue eraser. You have one of those. Once your glue is dry, it kind of helps remove some of that glue overflow. So now we're going to put this on our acetate.
I didn't do the acetate, you guys. So you're going to see how cute hers is with like the shaker piece in it. I'm doing mine plain, but I love this. I think this is so cute. And I thought the idea of just using any packaging that you have and reusing it on your machine is such a brilliant one.
Yeah, I save my stamp. I have a lot of stamps and dies as well. And I save my packages from my stamps and dies. And I'm going to use some of my stamping blocks here to put some weight on here while it dries. And
that's such a good idea.
Yeah, it kind of helps everything to dry. And while it's drying, this should be good enough for me to pull off.
Remind me again what you said that is. It's press and seal?
Yeah, it's Glad press and seal.
It's just like regular Glad press and seal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
That is so awesome. So while you're doing that, Tiffani, will you talk a little bit about what you learned or what you have been learning at the university?
Oh wow, so much. Like I said, it's been so long, and I look like I didn't put enough glue on my Y, but it's been so long since I had been to school, with anything for graphic design. Color theory was super helpful. Learning about that again, how to use color, especially on the computer. I don't remember them really teaching us a whole lot, how to use the colors correctly, in Illustrator and things like that. And um, so that's been helpful. The business portions right now, branding has been really helpful. Um, Even though, I know we push how it's more important to get your design down, learning how to design well before you worry about branding, but it's still helpful to have in the back of your mind, as you're doing things with your business, so you can keep it in mind that, yeah, I should be doing this and worrying about that and for the future.
Yeah, I think it puts in perspective like what you should be working on right now to make money in your business and what is coming along the road. I never want students or Design Suite members, as you know, because you've been in Design Suite as well, like they start it and then they're like, what am I supposed to do 5 years down the road? And it's like, oh, it's really obvious. This is when we start all of these things.
Right. So yeah, that's been helpful. And also just like learning how to work up your business plan and things like that, how to think ahead for your business. That's been really helpful as well. Like I remember writing a business plan in the beginning, and then towards the end of the semester, kind of switching it up after some things changed and I learned some new things. So that's been pretty helpful as
That
well.
was really fun for me when I wrote that class, because I think you actually even do it in a couple of classes. You write your initial executive summary on your business plan, and then you get the opportunity to change it because that's business, right? It's like it's
Right.
always fluid. You have to change
Yeah,
it.
I have to be able to pivot and flow. My dog is whining. I'm sorry. What you want? Babe?
Tiffany's got doggy
Okay.
issues. I can hear a kid
What?
behind me. This is summertime YouTube live, you guys. Like, I'm like, just so you guys know, I'm in my dining room. I think I have a kid headed out to work, and then I have a kid with friends hanging out here. So,
Uh-huh.
this just is. I texted my contractor and said, I'm in a YouTube live. Don't come in and ask me to do X, Y, and
Do
Z,
anything.
because it almost
Yeah.
always happens, like right in the middle of something.
Uh-huh. I could be doing nothing, and now that I'm on a YouTube live, he wants to whine and bark.
Of course. Of course. So good. Okay, so what do we do next?
Next, I am going to, since I'm making mine a shaker, this is the hardest part, kind of. I am going to put my little foam pieces, and I have this really, really thin foam, which is
Oh,
helpful
you've got
for this one.
strips. Yeah.
Yeah, these little thin foam strips. And when you make a shaker, you want to put some foam right around this bottom part to make sure your shaker bits don't fall to this part of the cupcake, because then you won't see them. You want to kind of to stay in this little area here. So I am putting this just all around the top of where the icing
Those,
of the cupcake would be.
those thin strips are nice because it looks like you're able to really be malleable with it. Are
Yeah,
you
they're pretty awesome. I can kind of move them around, and I kind of designed this with that in mind. I wanted to make sure that the cupcake design would be thick enough around this part to hide my little foam.
so based on that, would you say not to make the cupcake too much smaller? Like, because if you were doing
Yeah,
this, it would be
yeah,
really difficult to do the foam.
exactly. Now that you say that, yeah, it will be. Um, if you want to make it a shaker, you want to make sure that this part is thick enough for your foam strips. And these little strips, I get them from scrapbook.com. I don't know if you can find them anywhere else. Probably by now you can, but and then you just want to place it all the way around.
Are you making sure to close them up like they're touching?
Yeah, because you don't want your little shaker bits to fall out. So I'm just kind of making sure it's touching and just enough so that they don't come out. And then I'm just going to put some other foam pieces, just so that when you lay it down, you want it all to be the same height.
Yeah.
So you don't have to use the strips for this. You can. It's a little bit quicker, and I have the foam squares too.
I love it. We just got a comment in the chat from McCall. I don't know if I said your name right. I'm so sorry. He says, I'm a guy and I love paper crafts, getting excited for Halloween. Thank you for your interest and fun content. Have a very nice day. We're so excited that you're here. Just so you guys know, especially with paper crafting and sewing and all of that, we have a stellar, crazy lineup of Christmas and Halloween coming up. So, and lots of other guests coming on. We're super excited that Tiffani was willing to come on. In fact, so much so, you should go check out her YouTube channel. Tiffani, do you want to give them your YouTube links so that if they want to go follow and like your channel, they can go check that out?
Yeah, I am a Crafting Alley, and that's crafting with a K, on all social media, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I try and do YouTube videos kind of showing how you can put together my designs. I try and videotape myself as I'm putting things together, especially like the boxes and stuff like that, that can kind of be a little more, difficult to figure out. So yeah,
You will go enjoy her channel, you guys, especially if you like Tiffani's cool, relaxed vibe. Can you guys tell with Tiffani? I even love, she's been in my program for a couple of years now, and she's been in the university this last year. And I always am like kind of amazed. This is why she's probably so great at human resources. You kind of just like, Tiffani gets in the room and she's kind of like chill. Like she's just going to tell you how to do it. And she's so soft, but she's showing you how to do everything, and it's so lovely. So you're going to want to go check out her YouTube channel because it's so fun. Will you say it one more time, Tiffani?
A Crafting Alley, and it's crafting with a K. And I kind of came up with that name because my little craft room here is small, and it's kind of small, but it's skinny and long. And so it kind of reminded me of an alleyway. And I just did crafting with a K to be a little different. And I'm from Louisiana, and down here in Louisiana, we spell crew and different things like that with a K. So I just kind of switched it up a little bit like that.
Super fun. You guys see what she's doing right now? Because this is really fantastic.
Yeah,
like she's got all her strips at the bottom. She's closed up her entire thing, and you're just kind of pulling off everything so it'll stick. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm filling up all the backing so it'll stick. You just want to make sure you add some foam at the bottom so it all lays flat, the same dimension. Our commenter, I do have a Halloween cake topper as well.
Do you guys want her to come back and do the Halloween cake topper? That sounds super amazing. Here's the funny thing. Like, even from the moment Tiffani came into my program, cake toppers have been your thing. Cake toppers and cards. You do a lot of cards, really fantastic cards as well.
Yeah, I love giving them out. I did a whole bunch of spinner ones last year.
Tell everyone what you're doing right now, because this is cool.
I am putting in my little shaker bit. I love these little, I think I got these from Cat Scrappiness.
Are they sprinkles? What are they?
Yeah, they look like little sprinkles.
So cute. And just multicolored?
Yeah, they're multicolored. And I almost, just to make it a little different, I think I added some little pink beads. I have these beads from Dollar Tree.
So cute.
And these little containers came from the Dollar Tree as well. So I might add some of these pink ones in here.
If you guys like this, make sure that you like this video so that we know that you saw this cute sprinkle thing that she's doing. I love, like, she's got little tools, like she's just sprinkling it out.
I'm a sucker for tools, craft tools. Same thing when I'm cooking too. I'm a sucker for cooking tools. I do like to cook a little bit.
I love it.
So yeah, I think that'll be good enough. Now this is the kind of hard part, is I'm gonna kind of stand up a little bit, make sure I'm putting it on correctly. So
You're
this
okay.
is your,
and just so you know, Tiffany, I pulled your other one off the stage because it's still, I'm not sure why. So
I see.
don't worry about it.
Tap to retry.
I know you might have to just tap to get back in. Oh, it looks like it looked like it kicked it off, but it doesn't matter because at least we have your overhead view, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, my overhead looks frozen on my screen.
Oh, it's totally working for me.
Okay,
so.
great. Okay. So this is kind of the hard part. You just want to put the little backing on and make it sure it's even.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Well, you put it really close to the screen so that everyone can see how cute those little shaker bits are. So cute, you guys.
Oh yeah, and if you're giving it to a little kid too, you know, they like to play with them after the birthday's over. You know, they like to keep the cake toppers, and it's usually pretty fun for them.
Yeah, and easy to cut on your Silhouette, your Siser, or your Cricut machine, like whatever machine you're using. Like you can cut all this.
Yeah, I used my Cameo 5, and because I have the electrostatic mat, and I love that thing, and it's just really simple to peel, you know, all the pieces off the electrostatic mat, and that is the fun part. So,
so cute. Okay, tell me what you do next.
Next, I am going to put some foam pieces on this back part just to give it some dimension on the back of the white piece of your cupcake. I'm gonna put some foam strips to give it dimension on this.
I didn't cut out her bigger piece. I think I messed that up. But what I'm gonna do is on mine, because I didn't do the shaker, I am gonna do foam as well for me, just to make it 3-dimensional for the back piece. So I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just using foam squares.
Yeah, I have those too. I have all kind of stuff, y'all, in my craft room.
Oh, I've seen it, Tiffany. I feel like whenever Tiffany shows us stuff, I'm like, what? She is like everything, because you do the drunk journaling as well. And I was able to pull you back on, Tiff.
Oh, great.
So I just feel like you have like all the stuff because you are like a true crafter. Like you made that transition to designer so easily in a lot of ways because you actually do so much crafting.
Yeah, I think that made it a lot easier. Because when I first saw you, I think it was on, I was on Instagram, and you said crafters who are interested in being designers. And I was like, oh, that's me. And so, you know, that made it super interesting to me because I like doing a lot of crafts. I think the thing I probably do the least is sewing. I do know how to do simple lines, but that's about it. Nothing too fancy and intricate. I've never quilted before. But I sew simple lines. I've done banners and pillows.
I love that. Yeah, it's so funny because I do love my quilters and my crafters when they come into the program because you guys are so easy to teach because you guys actually do the thing. So it's not hard to be like, hey, I need you to choose a product category. And we're like working on your business side. You're like, oh, I get it, because you buy the products and you use the products. And it makes such a huge difference. Sometimes with my graphic designers who come in, it's like we have to kind of be like, okay, like you have to think like a crafter, or you have to think like a quilter. And that's sometimes tough.
Yeah, it can be. So now I have my foam tape on my back. And sometimes what I do for the sake of time, I'm not going to do much, but when you have sticky foam tape, if you do a strip of liquid glue, it makes it give you the time to shift things around. So it doesn't stick. I do this with my 3D things as well, like my 3D boxes and stuff. It makes it extra sticky. And it gives you time to kind of
sneaky, Tiffany. What a great tip, you guys. Glue on the back. I didn't put glue on the back of mine, but you know, I didn't need to shift mine around too much.
So it gives
Oh
you
my
time if
gosh.
you need to do that.
Look how cute hers is.
So
Oh
now we have the little
my
back
gosh.
on.
You guys, even based on what I'm seeing here, I'm kind of like, do the freaking shaker because mine's not nearly as cute as hers. Not nearly because I don't have the shaker bit.
Yeah, it makes it fun and cute. And now I'm going to add, because I almost forgot about a little cherry. You could either glue it on flat with just your glue, or you can add on squares again, more dimension.
I'm going to copy you. I'm going to do the foam core. Or not the foam core, just the foam. All right, got mine. I just had a couple to put on there. I do love this little cherry on top. The more pieces
dimension, the better.
Design, yeah, the more pieces in a design, a little bit longer to put together, but always better, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. So the next part is just gluing down your cupcake to the actual back of your cake topper. So
So cute.
here again, you can just glue down, or you can add foam tape squares again.
I think I'm gonna glue mine down. Mine is not gonna look exactly right, you guys, because look, I should have cut that extra piece out. I missed it somehow. It was in there. I cut this one 3 times and I forgot to cut the other one. But I think having that cute little extra little bit, it's kind of nice now that I see it though. I think I would probably do it in a fun other color, either like, I don't know, a red or a blue, just to like kind of set this whole thing up.
Yeah. Maybe a pattern paper might be pretty too.
Yeah, a pattern would be awesome.
And you don't need a whole bunch, just enough foam tape so it sticks down well.
I'm not doing foam tape for this one. I just did Elmer's glue.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine too.
Tiffany approves of what I'm doing. Thank you, Tiffany. I feel like Tiffany has like all the tools that I really actually need. So good. Okay, I've got mine on. Isn't that so cute? You guys, I'm like literally going to save this for our next birthday, which is funny because our last birthday was in April. It was my daughter's birthday, and our happy birthday banner is still up, and it's June. I just haven't taken it down, and now I'm like, do I even take it down because we have an August birthday? It's just too more. So I just leave it up.
Yeah, they might want something a little different. Huh?
I know. Okay, what do we do from here?
From here is where you want your hot glue. Turn on my hot glue gun, and this is where you want to put your straws. If you have cake pop sticks or anything like that, I ordered these off of Amazon. These are like the little cake pop sticks. Also, you also could do like the wooden skewers.
Yes.
Those are easy to break.
I was looking for my wooden skewers. I couldn't find it. I'm stuck to straws, you guys. So I'm going to do mine with straws, but I way prefer what you're using right there, Tiffany. And I just dropped one of my straws. So I'm going to go grab one more. Give me a second.
And the only thing you want to keep in mind with these, they're hard to cut or break. So you want to keep in mind how thick your cake is and not stick them down too far down so that your plastic isn't sticking out too far. So when you stick it in the cake, that it's not sticking up too high. So you want to keep your size of your cake in mind.
Oh,
yeah, you want to push it up.
So if it's too thin of a cake, like you're thinking of like a
regular sheet cake.
Yeah, sheet cake. If you're going to put that on, you do need it to be quite a bit smaller.
Yeah. So you don't want to have as much space at the bottom of your stick showing, especially for these are hard to cut. Like straws, you could probably cut them easy.
Yeah, these straws you could cut, no problem.
So I usually put mine about right here, and that should be able to hold up.
How many inches? How many inches are you thinking you're at?
About 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Under to inch hanging over, 1.5 to 2 inches. About like that, I guess. Should be good enough. And what I do is. I have my little silicone finger from the Dollar Tree. I don't burn myself. But you want to put hot glue where you're going to put your stick.
This is mine. I have like super long, but I'm using straws so I can cut them down later if I need to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the straws and the wooden skewers will probably be easier. Okay.
So then are you hot gluing your entire rest to get it into place?
You can, or you can use foam tape.
Oh,
this size, this kind of thicker, medium size. I think it's like a 2 millimeter. They come in different widths, so thicknesses and widths. So you want something about the same thickness. I think this is a 2 millimeter. I think it is. They come in a 3, 2, and 1. As long as you have something that matches the thickness of your straw or whatever you're using. So I'm just kind of hot gluing and pushing it down. So you can see.
That looks great.
You have it glued. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, especially if you're just sticking it in the cake, they're not going to see the bottom.
Yeah. No, they will not.
And this is where you would need your bat. I think I had used foam tape.
Okay.
Or you could just use your hot glue and go all the way around with it. But it's harder to get it even with the hot glue, you know.
That totally makes sense to me because I was just thinking, oh, I think this is going to be like kind of rough getting it with the hot glue. I'm going to use the foam tape, but I almost think I'm going to have to do a little bit of both, like a little hot glue and a little foam tape.
Yeah, because I don't know how thick your straws are.
They're pretty thick. They're pretty darn thick. But what I kind of want them to come together at the end. I don't know if this is going to work, Tiffany. What I'm doing might be, I don't know, blasphemous. But what I think I'm going to try to do is kind of like do foam tape in the middle pieces. Okay. So it's all fat and then hot glue on the edge so it comes together like a pie.
Gotcha. Yeah, that should work. It's going to be hard to get it totally even because it all depends on how you hot glued it as well, how much hot glue you use.
It's true.
When you put your sticks on.
Yeah, good point. We are using an awful lot of pop dots, you guys, right now, and foam bits. So make sure you have a decent supply on you before you start this project. Yeah.
Dollar Tree sells awesome foam tape. They're all the same thickness, but they have them in the different widths. It's super sticky though.
Is it? I haven't used them, but someone on my team was just telling me that they were getting them mostly at Dollar Tree. And I was like, what a great place to get craft supplies.
Yep, you just have to try everything out from there. Everything isn't great, but their foam tape is pretty good.
Okay, I didn't even hot glue the edges, but like the foam tape worked pretty darn well.
Yeah, look, did good.
That's like kind of insane. Like, and it's nice and thick. And because I didn't put someone's name on it, now I know you do customized ones with people's name on it, but because I don't have a name on this, I kind of feel like I could stick it into every single one of my kids' cakes. Is that so mean? So I can be all like, this one is for you. Oh, wait, look at this special thing I made for you. It's like the same one.
Yep, you sure could.
So cute.
So now I'm just putting my back on.
Tiffany, you need to tell everybody where you came from this morning.
Yes, I had a 5-hour, we got in a little after 1 from Cancun. Oops, I'm sorry, I kicked my camera. Yeah, we had a 5-hour delay. And I was so worried. I was like, oh no, I'm going to miss my live. So what happened was we were flying from Cancun supposedly into Dallas and then Dallas back to New Orleans. But the Dallas to New Orleans flight was canceled. And so they gave us another option to fly into Miami, and then from Miami back to New Orleans. So that's what we ended up doing, but it was 5 hours later than what I thought we were gonna get home. So
What
yeah, I was
happened to
kind
the
of freaking
original?
out about that last night.
What happened to the original flight?
I don't know. I wish I knew. They didn't warn us about anything, or I didn't hear anything about bad weather or anything like that in Dallas. So I don't know what the deal was, but I'm glad I was following on my app, because I wouldn't have known, if I wasn't following the flight information on the app. I wouldn't have known that we had a choice to switch anything or that anything was canceled. So, but yeah. But
So
we had
crazy.
a great time. I was with family. When our cousins had her 30th anniversary out there, they renewed their vows. So it was really nice.
That is really nice. What a fun party to go to.
Yeah, it was fun.
So good. I know. I'm like in the same boat as you, because I just barely got home Tuesday night from Zurich. And I've actually been doing great with jet lag and everything else. But our flight was delayed. We were supposed to get home like at 10, and we ended up at home at midnight or so. And I was just like, it's just like those extra couple of hours makes you a little crazy.
Yeah, it does.
So
But
crazy.
I made it, so I'm glad I made it.
I'm so glad you made it too. Okay, look how cute these turned out, you guys. Here, can I switch us so you can see how cute these are?
I have the shaker bits.
So good. I
You
love
can
it.
put more in them and less, however much you want to put.
There you go. Isn't that so cute? So if you guys want to do this particular shaker, cupcake, top holder, or like you're like, I just want to see what else Tiffani has, go check her Etsy shop. It's a Crafting Alley with a K. We also put the link directly here in the description. If you want to learn more about Design Suite or the university, we've put links for that directly in the description as well. Tiffani is one of our star students. She really does amazing, amazing work. And not only does she has a regular job, but then she designs and makes money on the side. And she's one of our superstars at gathering audience. She's been so good. She teaches at several summits. She's an ambassador for some different paper products. Is that correct? I can't remember exactly which ones.
There's a design team for Cardstock.com, and I do some affiliate stuff with some scrapbooking and stamp companies, so because I love stamping as well.
So good. You guys, isn't this so awesome? I hope you really enjoyed this. Try to like figure out how to use. Okay, here we go. I hope you really enjoyed this. Go check out our description so you can check out more of Tiffani's stuff. Tiffani, just kind of hang in here. We're going to close up this live. You guys go check the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Carina Gardner, to see when our next live is. So we are putting them up for you guys because of some of the stuff going on with the barn, because you guys know I'm in the middle of constructing a barn. There's been some craziness with it. We've had to like move and delay a few of our YouTube lives. So, but don't you worry. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.